welcome back. We're back in Wilderness Springs, and yeah, I wanted to go ahead and get rid of this little building that was like this little office managerial type building. Never really liked it. I was just kind of a filler building for that spot. But one of the things that I'd been brainstorming a while, like maybe putting a ride in there. But also, I believe, like way back, I told one of my buddies, David Spring, longtime supporter of the channel and Wilderness Springs in general, that I needed to get him some kind of building, some kind of restaurant or facade or something. And just kind of cruising around the park a couple days ago, I thought, I've got it. I need an auto body shop within the 50s area. So that is where DS Auto Body here was formed. So really fun idea. Kind of glad I got around to doing it instead of just leaving that kind of I don't know, kind of general purpose office building the way it was. So didn't really take too long to put this together. Worked out really nice. The ideas kind of just started flowing once I started. There was no pre-planning to this building. All of this was just built on the fly out of a little bit of inspiration that I had in my head. You'll see here in a minute, I put a big giant engine up in a glass enclosure. That was done on the fly. A lot of my builds are done on the fly. Or if I'll go to Pinterest or Google and I'll look up some theme park concept art, but I've never been a really big planner with this game. A lot of what I do in Planet Coaster is just yeah, for just unplanned, spontaneous type builds. So I think that lends itself to some good builds and to some crappy, lazy builds. But for the most part, for me, I think it ends up working out pretty good. Actually, in the beginning, I called this DS Tire. But in the end, you'll see I switch it over to auto because it just, the way the letters and stuff looked, it's just a little more appealing to the eye to have it auto than just a tire store. So, but yeah, these big letters, they're a little big. I wish we had another variation that was smaller than these. I think that would be perfect. But yeah, I am loving this vintage pack. And you know, another thing too, I think I misspoke a couple days ago, because obviously you get these new packs and you start getting real hyped up for them, but it's inevitable. You start thinking, okay, what's next? You know, it's like the new smell, the new car smell hasn't even wore off from the vintage pack, and people are already saying, man, I wonder what they're going to do next. Like, what happens? And I don't know if they go with with their typical timeline of 3 months. Well, we're looking at October-ish. Now, here's where I misspoke a couple, excuse me, probably about a week ago, when I said that, I said something to the effect of it being spooky related, or something like I said, I don't think we'll have water parks during Christmas time because it's Christmas time and that doesn't have anything to do with water. That might be a little bit of an extreme example. Like, I don't think they would drop a water park DLC or some kind of expansion during Christmas or December or January, if that ever gets dropped. But my point is, we got Adventure Pack in December, if you'll remember correctly. See, Adventure Pack has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas and the holidays. So, point being, the holidays don't necessarily have to dictate what type of pack we get, because that got thrown out the window with the Adventure Pack. There was nothing about Adventure that has anything to do with Christmas, holidays, New Year's, Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We got like hippopotamuses, awesome crocodiles, spikes, big boulders that slam you. So yeah, I mean, there is no, there's nothing that chains us to those holidays as far as release packs go. We know that now. And so I don't know, I must have just slipped my head a week ago when I was like, well, that ain't going to happen because that's right in the middle of Christmas. Well, not necessarily. So anyways, that's just my two thoughts. We could literally get anything at any time, just because that we think a pack may come out in October or whatever, because that's 3 months since the vintage pack. Doesn't have to have anything to do with the fall or Halloween. So, you know, just trying to just throw that out there. And, yeah, we will just have to wait and see. I think it's still way, way too premature to start the hype train on that. Me personally, I would like to see an Asian pack, an Oriental pack. That's kind of like the next on my hit list. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. And anyways, guys, let's go ahead. What we need to do next is get your input, get your comments on what Wilderness Springs needs to wrap up with. I'll go over a couple cool ideas that people have said. And let's just go over the park in general. Let's walk through the different areas, show you kind of what I think is finished, what still needs a little bit of work, and I think that'll give you a good overview without looking back at all those other episodes. And you can kind of just give me your input on maybe what needs to be fixed, what needs to be changed, what you don't like about a certain area. And yeah, we will kind of just take it from there. So hold on one sec. We'll zap back to real time and we'll go through these different sections and see what you guys have to say. So hold on one sec. All right, guys. So yeah, here we go. Let's just, like I said, we'll just take this from the beginning here. And you guys can kind of help me. Let's formulate a little bit of an ending plan. You know, kind of anything else that you guys would like to see hit on. So basically, like I said, we come through the main little walkway here, and off to the right is the ticket center, and off to the left is security and the main entrance here. So basically, security, everything, pretty much that is all set. I don't think we really need to change anything about that. The pass and ticket scanners look good to go. Calhoun's, it's ready now. You know, it's got the big lettering and the lodge kind of over glass facade. Looks pretty cool. And the only other thing too is you guys will have to tell me off camera. A little bit yesterday, I was going through and kind of switching out this main little path, and you know, let's just see if anything looks any better other than just the regular asphalt. So there is, let's see, dark red path, flagstone. Flagstone, that doesn't look too bad. It's kind of fits in with the wilderness theme a little bit. Let's see, sandstone with wooden trim. It's okay. Not really feeling it here. I always see that as more of like a, I don't know, like a western type of tile, jungle tile. Don't know. Let's see, black path marked with planet coaster. You know, not bad. I don't really need the little planet coaster dots in there. Lovely blue path. I don't know what I would ever use this for. I remember back in the day, anybody that was around back in the alpha days remembered we used this as water a lot, and water, and then the what was that other blue roof piece we used as water. So yeah, that was yeah, fun times. Rustic gravel path with wooden trim. Like it. It's clean, it's modern, but it kind of blends in with the security area and the main little walkway a little too much. So, like I said, it's got that clean look, but almost too clean. Glossy vinyl black, just kind of too glossy, too black. It's like so black it's almost purple green. Kind of looks a little weird. Let's see, heavy square flagstone. Not bad, not too bad. Doesn't do too much for me, but looks okay. Colorful cobblestones with stone trim, always a winner. Really, it's got that's got a cool wilderness kind of vintage look almost, but I would have to change some of this out here because that is just that is too much stone. But I think it's cool. I like it. Let's see. Shells of small square stones. More of a favorite in mine in RCT3 when we had like some of the station gym and then those kind of paths. Looked better there than it does here. It's just kind of plain Jane. Colorful brick pattern with stone trim. Looks okay. I like it. It just looks almost like almost too fancy for Wilderness Springs. We need a little more rustic, so not really feeling that. Then, of course, you know, the wood. When I see the wood, I think of piers, docks. You know, just doesn't really do it here. Then, of course, remember, this is what it was, stone asphalt. It just looks so perfect. It looks so Dollywood, so Wilderness Springs. Just looks really natural. Like this asphalt is kind of what you'd see when you first walk into a park like this. And then, of course, we've got the stone slab path from the Spooky Pack. And even that kind of fits. This would be more of like a compliment path over a giant, grand opening path. So, I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts. For right now, I'm going to leave it as the standard path. And, yeah, so that's just that. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on maybe switching that up a little bit and what you guys thought looked good. Main facade, pretty much I'm really pleased with how all it turned out. It's kind of like its own little unit here. As they first walk in, if you make your way off to the left, you've got a little pizza spot. You've got the Wilderness Fire Department here that I kind of jacked from my Disney build. And then on the very end, you have the Palace, the Show Street Palace Theater. You know, little shows going on in there. And then, of course, too, we've got a little backstage area over here with just trash and props and, you know, little utility trucks, scaffolding. So thought that was pretty cool. This was, like we said, remember when we started this back in January, this was one of the first parks that I did where we really took a lot of consideration into the whole backstage area and trying to make it realistic. And once you make your way here, you'll cross the first path, the first bridge over Homer's Creek. And for all of you that don't know, this creek is named after my Papa Homer. So this is made this creek that goes all through Wilderness Springs, kind of in his honor. You know, a little bit of backstory. He used to love to, you know, just play games, and you know, even like as you know, he was 70 something and still knew how to log onto the computer, and he'd play solitaire. He would play a little bit of the original RollerCoaster Tycoon. He would play a little bit of Zoo Tycoon. And never would do it, you know, didn't do it too serious, but it was always fun to watch him click around, and then, you know, he would watch me play and all of that. So yeah, I thought that was fitting. My first real serious attempt at a park and a running series. So this is for my granddad Homer, and this is his creek. And so, yeah, that is where the creek comes from, runs through the whole length of the park. And then, yeah, you kind of make your way over to this little fun fair type of area. We've got the aeronauts, we've got the hyper spin, and we've got my little spin on the hammer swing. It's another ode to Dollywood. My little dueling daredevil barnstormer type facade here. So the guests will walk up. They've got their little lockers, and they can go through the barn, and then they, you know, after they drop their stuff off, they can make their way through the queue, and yeah, queue up for Barnstormer. Really, really cool. If they make their way down through here, we've got another little Disney Jack that I took from the Hollywood Studios inspiration. This is my little Oasis Canteen, which inside of Hollywood Studios is actually based right outside of the like the little Indiana Jones stunt show pavilion. That's where you'll find in Hollywood Studios in Orlando, right outside Indiana Jones is where that little canteen is. So there's my little version that we have plopped down here in Wilderness Springs. And then, of course, you make your way through this little path, and there is the reveal of Twin Peaks. Really, really fun coaster. Actually, it was the park's first coaster. Spent a lot of time with this terrain and this forming, and I was telling a couple guys on Instagram, it is really cool if you'll look right here right when you pull up the stats, Planet Coaster keeps up with your lifetime guests. So 52,000 guests have ridden Twin Peaks since I built it way back in the day. And, you know, that's a pretty good bit. I only let like 250, 300 guests in the park at one time. I let more in earlier as I was doing some filming on it. So right now there's 738. That's probably the most that's ever been in this park, I believe. So yeah, you've got Twin Peaks, the little kind of runaway mine coaster. And then we've got the little drink canteen here. I kind of, this was from the little Christmas build that I did for Geekism and his channel. Kind of cut off the marketplace and just did a little Monsieur Fritz and just a little drink stand right here at the corner. Kind of while you're making your decision to whether go and queue with Twin Peaks or kind of make your way over here to the rock climbing wall, built that way back in the day for Adventure Point. And then you've got the lot of shopping, a lot of eating through this little stretch. Don't really know. One of the things that's irking me here while we're doing this review is this giant kind of just open plaza right here. Don't know if I need to put in some planters or I don't know what we need to do right there, but it's just kind of empty right here, just kind of staring at the rock climbing walls. So don't know. We'll have to maybe figure something out there. We've got a little eating ledge here that runs around the creek. Down here at the end, we've got a little magic twirl, which I know has never fit really with the theme or the land. Haven't really messed with it to try to make it that way, but it's just such a charming little ride. I knew I wanted it in the park, and who knows if we go back in October. I think, you know, obviously this park is going to be released to the workshop before October, but I think it'll be cool every once in a while to come back and visit it, and like maybe like before I bring you guys back, do like a Halloween festival and go through and plop down a bunch of Halloween decorations and spruce up the park like that, and bring you guys back every once in a while for a Christmas special and a fall extravaganza, or, you know, a fireworks 4th of July show next year. So I think, you know, definitely there's lots of uses for this past once the the kind of like the final cinematics are done and it's out there on the workshop, for you guys to get your hands on. So over here, we've got, of course, the main stage right now. We've got Sounds of Summer playing, 2018 concert series. Really, really pleased with how that stage came out. As you're making your way back here to the train station, you actually have a small little look at some of the kind of like the back area of Twin Peaks. So you can't see much, but you can see them kind of going by back there as they're weaving around in their final little stunt right there. The train station is on and popping right now. Everybody is looking to ride the train. Didn't spend a lot of time on the train station. I think it works for what we tried to do here as far as putting it in the mountain. But, you know, no biggie. It was fun. Basically, we got these little flags. We've got this whole little crosswalk area here. Be cool if I had like actual working flags, and if like the guests would actually stop kind of before, you know, crossing that over if a train was coming so they didn't get killed. Got to give a big shout out to my buddy Wolf Tenner. He built me the barbecue smokehouse, the Three Bearded Pigs. So stop in there and get your pulled pork barbecue or a nice big juicy cheeseburger. So that is open for lunch and dinner right here at the corner of our Western Log Flume and the kind of like our little haunted mansion Psychosis facade. So this is Wilderness Springs' little haunted mansion here. And then back here is kind of like just I started on a little service area back here. Just totally backlot, recycling, just little like maintenance offices, assistant manager offices, stuff like that back there. So same with right here, just a general kind of maintenance office that is connected to the train depot where they can, you know, get back there and kind of help service that, you know, service all that stuff. So over here, still haven't taken down the construction walls yet. But this was a really, really fun project. Took me a couple weeks to, maybe about 12 days to get this really going and pretty cool how I want it. Still not totally finished yet. So that is still a work in progress. Then you kind of make your way down here to another little shopping district, kind of like the back of the park's little main street here. And once you make your way all the way past all this shopping, you kind of get to the Wing Coaster's big reveal as you're kind of, as you're making your way through towards the back of the park. And here's like the little mad scientists, little facade here that I did. And wow, man, if you're out there listening, yes, this is on the workshop now. Big thank you to R3 Dragon. He featured this on one of his Twitch streams a couple days ago. So big shout out to him. He's always been a big supporter of mine and an awesome Planet Coaster creator at that. So he picked this up and threw this on his Twitch stream for me. So big shout out to R3. Appreciate you, buddy. And yeah, you kind of make your way back this way into Frontier Pass. And it's kind of like just a, like a makeshift little Craftsman's Valley, old school town. One of my longtime supporters, Michael Greenslade, got him the Greenslade Inn and Tavern. Over here, we've got the Cold Spring Church. We've got like the little cultural center. We've got the Onward store here. You can grab your little deli sandwiches, little knickknacks. And then back here, we've got a very cool little playground that I created back in the day. Another little adventure point deal that made its way to Wilderness Springs so the little kids can make their way across the bridges and, yeah, play on all of that stuff. Got a little tiny rock climbing wall. Here at the back, you've got the Wolf's Trading Post, little gift shop type of area. Really, really cool how that turned out. This kind of made its debut when the whole adventure pack came out, and I figured it would just be cool to add a lot of that stuff in and a lot of the Back to the Future stuff. So that was pretty cool. Got a little fan up on the porch, so that was really, really fun. Then making your way back to a couple flat rides, we've got the Tri-Storm over here. Got the Teacups ride. We found a really cool spot for the Vintage Pack bobsled coaster. So the Twist and Tussle is right there. And this is where I need a lot of your guys' input. Don't really know what to do right here. I've got a pretty cool input about doing like an 80s, 90s type kids play area. People have thrown out, one of my buddies threw out to do a putt-putt type of course. Little putt-putt course for Wilderness Springs. I thought that was a really cool idea. But yeah, just start throwing ideas at me down in the comments section and we'll kind of see what sticks and what I can make happen. Like I said in the review video, this is kind of like the little trapeze park. And over here are a couple of little flat rides from the Vintage Pack. And I know I kind of went a little crazy over here with the planters, but I just got my hands on them. So I was like totally losing my mind, excited. So there's that. We've got the Centrum. Got that back here. So that is like a whole Vintage Pack showcase way at the back of Frontier Pass. Of course, we've got the resort, the on-site resort that you can stay at, never have to leave the park. Views of a lot of vistas of the park, good view on the fireworks. We've got our little boat ride down here with the little lake in front of the resort. Here goes our train. Here goes our train right now, making its way in front of the resort and then kind of making its way up the hill. I know a lot of my train guys actually completely cringed when they saw the grade of this train, but we got to keep it a little, we still got to keep a little bit of fantasy element to it, and it looks cool, it works, so I'll stick with it. Over here we've got the Patrick Redding trail, so you can kind of make your way over the lake, and this whole little trail is like a little hiking trail. You can make your way up the mountain and watch the helicopters take off. So yeah, this is Wilderness Springs has helicopter tours. I haven't added the balloon tours yet, so that would probably be pretty cool if I could get if I could find a little spot and maybe have a hot air balloon take off. And let's see, we've got the golf course over here that's finished up. We've got the little backstage area where the tour buses pull in at. that we've got the trams right here. The trams kind of can bring the resort guests in and out from the exterior parking that's implied. And we also have a little little garage here. That's mainly more used for like employee VIP type parking. So the main parking is actually off map, and they are shuttled into the resort. So yes, think that is a quick overview of everything we have going on. And then of course, Mr. David Springs Auto Body Shop that I you just watched the time lapse of. Really pleased with how this turned out. And he's been a buddy and a supporter of mine for a long time, ever since the start of Wilderness Springs. So I thought that was pretty cool to kind of give him his own little building and shop. And I didn't really like that building that was there. And I think his little body shop with a little engine up here in the glass window, I thought came out really awesome. And so yeah, and over here we will wrap up with the 50s area. So we've got our little Red's Drive-In. When you're making your way through here, Gulpy Dancing, we've got a little popcorn shop. We've got a little Casey's candy store here, fan favorite. And then when you turn the corner, we've got Shine Run, which is way too scary for the guests to ride on. The fear is way too high. So I actually have my buddy Moxie. He is working on it probably as we speak. So I gave him the blueprint, and I was just trying to see if maybe he can tone it down a little bit to maybe where we could at least get some guests to ride it. So if you ever wondered why no guests are over here, just the fear rating and the nausea rating is too high. So we made Shine Run a little too intense. But anyways, guys, so yeah, thanks for sticking by and hanging out with me. If you stuck around this long, and I love hitting, seeing your guys' input. And if you've stuck around this long, do hashtag Wilderness Springs in the comments, and I'll know you made it this long. And don't forget, start pumping out these ideas, because like I said, Wilderness Springs is not dead. It's just, it's time to wrap up. So I may have a little bit more room for some of your ideas. We've got some room out here, but I'm really looking to finish this up, get the final POVs out, and of course, let you guys get your hands on it in the workshop. So like I always say, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me. Thanks for all of your support. We just did a 2,000 I was just thanking you guys for 2,000 subscribers, and we're already almost at 2,100. So since I thanked you guys like 6 days ago, we've gained 100 subs. So big shout out to you guys for sharing the videos and giving me shout outs and telling other fans about me. And you don't know how much that means when you just say, hey, have you guys checked out Sdanwolf? Go check his channel out. And that definitely means a lot to me, and that you guys are that awesome to actually promote for me, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you. See ya.